take out his microchip. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to think, like, I want to do it myself, but I don't know if I'll hurt myself too bad or some shit, but I might just cut this motherfucker out myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Where's the microchip?
It's right here in my hand.
And they insert that.
This was a separate investor that I'm about to like try to like get out that contract, give them their money back, and cut this chip out myself. I done made enough now, and did enough now. I got enough. I got far enough. I don't want to be involved with that anymore.
So you're out. Do they let you just get out?
I don't know. I'm gonna figure out. Alright, so low key kind of nervous about this, but I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm about to literally dead ass cut a microchip out of my hand, bro. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm pushing a baby out. I'm acting like a big baby. There it goes. You see it? See it there? Yeah. It's just bulging out the skin. I'm gonna cut that fucker out. So scared. I'm doing it myself. My doctor told me not to. He said I'll come in the office, I'll do it for free. I was like, no. This is something I have to do alone. So I called all my friends to help me.
Can you sanitize your hands again before you start?
Can I?
I think you should, because you were just touching your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's cool. Sanitize this stuff.
Yes, that's cross contamination.
Stroke this shit, bro. It's hood rich. We're out here. Rebel style, eh? Yo, I've never loaded a scalp on something like this. Is this even right? That's crazy. It doesn't look like it actually holds the blade. Look, okay, so we're gonna remove this fucker today. Getting this microchip out. Before they launch 5G, I've been hearing a lot of negative stuff on the internet about it, and I see they're trying to ban it, so this concerns me. I want to remove my microchip. I want no part of this shit no more. I'm gonna be anti-human being microchips. If you have one in you, join the cause, remove your chip. So, let's do this shit, bro. Fuck it. Damn, that motherfucker sharp, bro. Is that it? Oh, slipped away. SIM card. Oh, fuck. There it is. There it goes. Oh, you son of a bitch. What the fuck? That motherfucker's out, bro. Shit, doc. I'm bleeding a lot.
I forgot about this one right there.
And you don't feel that?
This?
Yeah. No, I don't feel it right now, but I'm probably gonna feel it tomorrow.
You wanna see the chip?
Oh, look at that fucker. Yeah. Fuck you, fucking 5G.
That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, bro, I feel like a rock star. Yo, if you got a microchip, get your microchip taken out before the 5G launches, I'm telling you.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem El Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because that's where I learned this truth from, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Yahweh is the true name of the God of Israel. Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is Yahweh Shai. And pretty much in this video, as most people are familiar with, the rapper KidBuu, he got a microchip implant implanted into his hand. And if you're not aware, the so-called RFID chip implant, also known as the NFC chip implant, and it goes by various other different names, that is the mark of the beast according to the Bible. Now, the point that I want to bring out is the fact that I'm going to show you pretty much how, these Hebrew Israelite camps that's under the 501c3 charter, this is how I know, personally, and this is just me speaking for myself, this is how I know personally that they sold out. Because when you read the description of his video, right, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to make my point. So I guess this is the rapper KidBuu. This is his channel. Now, this is in his description, right? It says, with fair regularity, stories appear in the media about technology that will allow the beast to number and track every person on Earth, which that's what they're preparing to do. They have something called the 2030 agenda. That's why they're creating these different 5G towers. And as you heard in the video, the RFID chip implant and links up with what? 5G. Because they're going to have these different 5G towers erected for what? So they can track the people. They don't have that technology set up yet, but it's being set up. Why you think they have the new Samsung Galaxy phone? It has 5G capability. Why you think they went from 2G to 3G? Now it's 4G or LTE, which is the same thing, and now they're coming out with 5G, because the beast, which is NATO and the EU, they're preparing for what? To implant every civilian on Earth with the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip implant. All right. So this is what they're getting prepared for, and this is why, everything is becoming electronic. Back in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you had to go to the bank teller. As far as my research is concerned, because I wasn't born back then. I was born in the 90s, but they didn't have debit and credit cards back then. This is something that pretty much is new. So you see the transition, how they're going from physical in-person transactions to what? Everything becoming digital, electronic. And for you people that think that, cryptocurrency ties in with the mark of the beast, it does not. Cryptocurrency depends on your Pacific country's, dollar. All right? It depends on paper money. So when a dollar crashes of all currencies, not just the U.S. dollar, because all paper currencies is going to crash because we're entering into a cashless society. When the dollar collapses, the U.S. dollar, as well as all countries, money notes, then cryptocurrency is going to crash, because it depends on the stock market. It depends on money. All right. So the cryptocurrency has nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Now, is it influencing you to get the mark of the beast? Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with the physical mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip implant. All right. So reading on. So it says to track every person on Earth. See, what you have to understand is these celebrities, as well as these Hebrew Israelite camps that's under the 501c3 charter, they know what the mark of the beast is. Guys like Chief Ephraim, they know what the mark of the beast is. This is why I'm telling you people, and this is why we tell you here at Great Millstone, you have to follow Great Millstone. Great Millstone is the camp that has the 100% truth. You got guys that know the truth, but because, of the love of money, they don't want to teach the people what the mark of the beast is. And all you people, regardless if you're elders or not, I personally don't care. If you a guy that, you went to One West, you an elder, you've been around for years, you calling yourself chief or high priest, you need to tell the people what the mark of the beast is. Or else you're going to have blood on your hands, metaphorically speaking, and physically soon, according to Ezekiel chapter 3, verses 17 through 19. Because the Hebrew Israelite men been set up to warn the people, not the women, because the scriptures tell you women are supposed to keep silence in the church. All right, there's no female prophets. Anytime you hear about a prophetess in the Bible, that's the wife of a prophet. All right. But I lost my train of thought. But pretty much, this is why we tell you to follow Great Millstone. All right, because these guys, they have blood on their hands. They know the truth, but they're not teaching it. Now, reading on, it says, people believe that either a number or barcode will be imprinted on the foreheads or hands of those who will be permitted to buy or sell. You see the trickery? You see the play on words? All right. Now, when you go into, and I'm gonna get into it. When you read Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, when you go into that word mark, the word there is Strong's G 5480, which is charagma, which it says in the printer mark. And that's literally how the RFID chip implant procedure, that's how it's done. Then you go into the root word of charagma, which is Strong's G 5482, which is charax, which it says what? A pale stick or palisade, referring to what? The needle that you used to inject the RFID chip implant inside of you, making it what? An imprinter mark. You see how the root words, how it go hand in hand? Then when you go into the root word of charax, it's Strong's G 1125, which is on grapho. The brother GMS, behold, I come quickly. The elder. I saw he brought that out. And when you go into the word grapho, Strong's G 1125, which is the root word of Strong's G 5482, charax, it pretty much says to form something in papers on a material. Referring to what? Having your information stored on this chip. Because what you people need to understand is the prophets, they didn't have the modern vocabulary that we have today. John the Revelator 2,000 years ago, when this was jotted down, he didn't know the words RFID chip implant. Oh, that's an RFID chip implant. I'm gonna write it down. Remember what Matthew chapter 13 verses 9 to 11 says. The Bible was written in what? Parables. A parable is a dark saying. Everybody can't figure out a parable. That's why Amos 3:7 says what? How the Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Who's the servants? According to Leviticus 25 and 55, the children of Israel, beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? It's very simple to understand. The prophets back then, they didn't have the modern vocabulary we have now. So for all you faithless people that's like, oh, how do you know America is Babylon the Great? Oh, how do you know the children of Israel is the seed line of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? Why? Because we believe through faith, first and foremost, and it makes perfect sense. You can identify Pacific prophecies with, secular history and today, how it applies to today. It makes sense. John the Revelator is not going to write RFID chip implant. You got to figure that out. And then when you figure it out, you have to believe on faith because it's not physically written there. It says, people believe that either a number or barcode will be imprinted on the foreheads or hands of those who will be permitted to buy or sell. Nah, you're going to need the RFID chip implant to buy or sell. And the elect of the nation of Israel, according to Revelation 20 and 4, we're not going to get that. Lord will I'm a part of it. Lately, the stories have been about implantable microchips that will store vital information, right? Going back to what? Strong's G 1125, grapho. It says about each of us. Such stories are widely circulated, but no proof exists that any of them are part of worldwide conspiracy. You see how they put that in there? See, what you're going to understand is this rapper KidBuu, he felt guilty. He was reading the comments on how people were saying, oh, you got the mark of the beast. You're going to be destroyed. That got to him. He got cut, according to Hebrews 4 and 12. He felt convicted in his spirit to the point where he wanted to take it out. But it's already too late. Look at this guy's lifestyle. Look at how he look. You think that guy is going to give up his fame and fortune to serve the Lord? He'll lose everything he got. A lot of Israelites, they're not willing to do that. Because this guy is an Israelite. If I'm not mistaken, he's Sicilian. And he's Sicilian and Puerto Rican. I think his dad is Puerto Rican, which the Puerto Ricans are the tribe of Ephraim. But it says these reports are based on misunderstanding of Revelation 13. See, so this guy, he really doesn't believe that the RFID chip implant is the mark of the beast, but he knows it is. Why? Because he got it taken out. And you have to understand these celebrities, through something called celebrity branding, where the media and the elites, they use these celebrities to what? Control the masses of the people, control their minds. That's why they push their music on you. The different radio stations, you hear the same type of music, the same, chorus, to the point where even if you don't like the song, you just know the damn words. Why? Because they pushing it on you. Now check this out. It says the beast mentioned in Bible prophecy is a governmental system, a revived Holy Roman Empire headed by an evil human dictator. Now you see that bullshit? See, this is that doctrine of, there's going to be an antichrist. When you read 1 John, the 2nd chapter, an antichrist is just somebody or a group of people, not just one person. The antichrist is somebody that doesn't believe according to what the Bible says. So anybody could be an antichrist. An unbeliever is considered an antichrist. It's not just one man, that's going to come out of the sea. That's bullshit. Read 1 John, the 2nd chapter. It's going to go into it from verses 18 on down. It says the beast mentioned in Bible prophecy is a governmental system, a revived Roman Empire, which is mainly referring to America and the EU, because when you read Revelation chapter 13, verse 3, it tells you how the deadly wound was healed. How did the Roman Empire come back into power if it was destroyed? Through something called the Treaty of Rome. So today the Roman Empire is what? America and the European Union. That's why their judicial system is based off of what? The ancient Roman Empire's, system. And it's not just that. It's a lot of similarities between the ancient Roman Empire, America, and the European Union. All right? It says when Yahushua come back, because we know his name ain't Jesus, he will personally throw both that dictator and his false prophet compliance, I'm probably saying that wrong, into the lake of fire. Receiving a beast number, name, or mark has to do with giving allegiance to the government this dictator will establish, and to false religion that will be integral part of that system. And this is why I brought up the camps that's under 501c3 charter, because this is the bullshit that they teach being under 501c3 charter. All of them got the same doctrine. All of them got the same doctrine except for Great Millstone, because we're the men of the Lord. All right, the ones of us that endure to the end. I'm going to read that again so I can make my point, because this is what these dudes that teach, the mark of the beast is philosophy, right? The mark of the beast is Christianity, Caesar Borgia. They'll tell you that the image, a little part of the image of the beast is the actual mark of the beast. So you got guys like Adam Abbott, which will say what? That the mark of the beast is spiritual, it's not physical. Come on. Some got to give. One way or another, you guys sold out somehow. Because why would you teach that? Read again. It says receiving a beast number, the 666, which is the UPC, Universal Barcode, name or mark has to do with giving allegiance to the government this dictator will establish, and to false religion that will be integral part of that system. The Bible uses the symbols of the forehead and the right hand to represent one's loyalty by thought and work, mental and physical allegiance. You see that bullshit? And I know ISUPK taught that, because that's what they taught. And they have a bunch of different doctrines. See, what you people got to understand is not every Hebrew Israelite camp is the same. There's a difference. And here at Great Millstone, we give you the whole truth. We go into the secular history. We go into the root words. All right? We do the research. We're constantly keeping up with the current events and applying it to the scriptures. Like, this is where we at right now in the end times. This is what we do. This is what real prophets do. Not going out to Times Square, just one time. General Yohana blows up Times Square. Come on, man, that's whack. It says the scriptures teach that God's laws is to be uppermost in our lives. Come on, man. This dude, KidBuu is full of shit. It says the devil will be the spiritual power behind the beast, and he invariably counterfeits God's ways to deceive the true believers, and that's what he's doing through this dude right here by writing this description. Into forsaking the truth. The beast system will therefore be a counterfeit of God's, and its mark or identifying sign a counterfeit of God's sign. And then he got the Sabbath there. I don't know why he got that. It says, it is more likely than that the mark of the beast will be an enforced day of worship. And that's, yo, man, I don't know if y'all remember, but it's this false prophet on YouTube called King Obadiah, and this is what he said. He said that the mark of the beast is Sunday worship. That's exactly what he said. Y'all can go to his channel if he still got the video up, and that was there. So this is why I'm bringing out all these false prophets, because this guy that's a celebrity, he's saying the same thing, which we know Esau, the so-called white race, that seed line, that they control these celebrities and these Hebrew Israelites, that some of them are agents and some of them is under 501c3 charter to deceive our people. It says, and it will not be the 7th-day Sabbath. You see the bullshit? So this guy is double-minded. So I just wanted to show that, to see, to show you how the elites is using these celebrities as well as these false prophets. All right, now this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. 2 Corinthians 2:11, at least Satan. Now you got the actual Satan, that's an actual angel. When you read Job chapter 1, verses 6 through 12, Satan is not an angel that rebels against the God of Israel. See, what you have to understand is the heavens, so-called outer space, the third dimension or fourth dimension, whatever you people call it, up out there, there's perfect order. There's no rebelling against Yahweh, the God of Israel. There's no rebelling against Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son of the Most High that sits on the right hand of the Father. There's no rebellion. You can't prove to me Satan took a third of the angels and rebelled against God. What scripture is that? You can't prove it. Why even say it if you can't prove it? Nobody that claims that they're a believer shall open up their mouth if you can't prove what you're saying. You should just be quiet and understand that you've been deceived. Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. The 5 Christian denominations has nothing to do with the Bible. And you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you need to get out of these churches because they're deceiving you. And it's going to lead to your destruction if you don't repent, because salvation is only for the nation of Israel, according to Isaiah 45:17. And the Lord only came to save the children of Israel, which is his people, according to Acts 5:31. The Lord's people is the people he made a covenant with. He never made a covenant with everybody. So that's the point. When you read Job chapter 1, verses 6 through 12, the God of Israel got to sanction Satan to do a particular action. He can't just do what the hell he want to do. But what does Christianity do? Add onto the word. It says, but this Satan is talking about is the people that follow Satan, which is who? The Edomites, the so-called white race that worship Satan. It says should get an advantage of us. Who's the us? The elect of the nation of Israel, the brothers, sisters, and children, that follow the prophecies, that believe according to the scriptures, that repented. Because not all Israel is going to repent. For we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his physical devices, the RFID chip implant being the mark of the beast. We're not ignorant to the fact that, the so-called white race, these central bankers, the Edomites, how they use these celebrities, how majority of Hebrew Israelite camps is government agents outside of Great Millstone, of course, because, we're not government agents, even though you might have people that's agents, amongst Great Millstone. But that's up to the Lord. That's really none of my business, all right? Because the Lord exposes everything, and he brings everything to light. So we're not ignorant to the fact. And we got the faith. That's what's driving us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Because faith is a gift, according to Ephesians 2:8. Now, this is Revelation 13, and we're going to start at 15. It says, because I'm just going to make a point about the image of the beast. This is Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, what does the image of the beast involve? It involves, the setup of the ancient Roman Empire, their system, their government, their rules and regulations. But the image of the beast is what? The democracy, the homosexuality, the lies, the religion, the adultery, the covetousness, the idolatry, the financial system, the patriotism, the need for natural resources. Even today, how does that apply to Hollywood and the entertainment, the political system, the military industrial complex, the murder? And then the ultimate example is what? The judicial system is based off of ancient Roman law. Like now, you have Democrat and Republican. Back then, it was patricians and Flavians. Even the New World Order, right, NWO, is written in Latin. What did the Romans speak? They spoke Latin, which is e pluribus unum. On the back of the dollar, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, right? And then, to make another point, when you read it on verse 15, when it mentions he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, is referring to America and the EU nations, brought back the ways of the ancient Roman Empire. That's why it says the Daily One was here in Revelation 13:3. All right? It's the same setup. It's going to have a similar downfall. It's the same setup. The coins, the eagle, everything. But also, what does this apply to? His New World Order. Because if you don't comply with his New World Order and get the RFID chip implant implanted into you because you believe, according to the scriptures, that that the RFID chip implant, you believe that the RFID chip implant is the mark of the beast, you're going to be killed by way of guillotine. And they have different things set up. Project Megiddo, a lot of different things. King Alfred Plan, Rex 84, there's a bunch of them, to really exterminate us so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because, we're supposed to be a righteous seed. They want to get rid of that. That's why they're trying to corrupt us by having, the ones of our people that's puppets. Verse 16, and he calls of all. Who's the he? The he is referring to the central bankers. All right? You might call them the shadow government or the Illuminati. Let's talk about them, the Edomites. See, these celebrities, you might think a guy has a bunch of money because he got 500 million. Not to sound stupid, but they don't really have nothing compared to the central bankers. So it says, and he causeth all, meaning the day is going to come where there's going to be a mandatory event that's going to take place on the planet Earth, to where everybody is going to have the option whether they're going to receive the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip implant, or not. And if you don't do it, you're going to be deemed a terrorist, and they're going to seek to kill you. It says, and what other event could they use? An EMP attack. That's why they have something called auto abkeo, finding a solution to a problem that they set up. It says, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Like I said, the word mark is charagma, which is an imprinted mark, right? Because the RFID chip implant, it literally goes inside of you. Then you go into the root word, charax, which is what? Pale stick or palisade, referring to the needle that's used to inject it in you. And then grapho, Strong G 1125, root word of Strong G 5482. It says to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment paper, or other material. What material is these, papers being formed on? The RFID chip implant. All right. So it says in their right hand on their foreheads. But if you get it anywhere in your body, you're receiving it. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell. So the fact that you can't buy or sell without this lets you know that the dollar is going to collapse. All paper currencies is going to collapse, because this is what you're going to need in order to buy or sell. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, For it is a number of a man, and his number is 603, which in the Greek, that translates to chi stigma, which is 660 and then 6. The word 6, it means to cut. And that also goes back to karagma in the root words. Now, I'm going to show you something real quick. Because a lot of you people, you read the scriptures and you're like, oh, well, God will forgive me. All manner of sin can be forgiven. Nope. If you receive this mark of the beast, you can't be forgiven. I don't care what nobody's saying. Because it's already written. The ones that receive the mark of the beast, they're going to be burnt in the lake of fire. They're going to be destroyed. Let's read it. Revelation 14:9. You can't get the chip and then take it out and think, oh, man, God is going to forgive me. Nah, it don't work like that. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, that could be right or left hand. You could get it in your ear. You could get it anywhere in your body. If you receive it, you're going to be judged for receiving it. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So you're going to get the full extent of the Lord's wrath. It says that he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, because you're going to be destroyed by the thermonuclear missiles. I'm going to show you that. Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his veil upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore, referring to the nuclear missiles, upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. And in this lifetime, the image is going to be referring to what? His new world order. A lot of you people, you're going to fall for it. Let me just get this real quick. I'm going to close it up. This is Revelation 20:4. This is what John the Revelator seen. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, referring to right now. The ones that keep the faith. The ones that's telling you, oh, the RFID chip implant is the mark of the beast. These guys are trying to deceive you. This is what John the Revelator is seeing. He's seeing brothers, that got beheaded for the word of the Most High. Their testimony, their faith. It says, and which had not worshipped the beast, right? Neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, left or right hand. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach Yahushua 1,000 years. What the hell is that talking about? That's talking about it's going to take 1,000 years for the kingdom of heaven to be built up. All right? Because when Yahushua comes back, you heathen nations, Numbers 2-18, you're going into slavery. Now, something I want to point out before I close the video, you have a remnant of the children of Israel that's scattered throughout the heathen nations' lands. But the Lord knows where his elect is at. He knows where his remnant is at, according to Matthew chapter 24, verses 30-31. All right, so with that, Shalom. Don't take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID.